partly it's this dependency on peer review that is turning scientists into cowards.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of exchanging ideas just to improve the science, this is how science improves.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Everyone knows that. Instead of doing that, people are just really afraid of retaliation, and for good reason, because we are extremely fragile. All we have is our good name, and reviewers have huge power over us. So this was also called the tyranny of the reviewer. The question is, what do you do about it? How do you get around it? Because we do need feedback. The papers improve because of the feedback. We are desperate for feedback at any level. Students need feedback. The PIs are, first of all, they don't know everything, and second, they are not always available to give constructive feedback. And also, the most experienced scientists in the world, they need feedback, and we all have blind spots. And but good feedback is hard to find. What we do is we take a paper and we, first of all, strip it out of any signs of identity. So we remove your name, your affiliation, so it will be judged based on its merit, and we break it into claims. And the claims are the things that you claim that you have found in your paper. We deal with research papers at the moment, not reviews, for now at least. And then we arrange these claims on a logical tree. And we show which claims you've made, how the claims are connected, the sub-claims, and so on. And we also, for each claim, look for gaps in the logic, possible problems. And we are not fraud detectors. So there are other companies trying to detect manipulations and cheating stuff like that. We don't do that, at least for now. What we do is find real problems, for example, missing controls, weak arguments, contradictions with the literature, statistical problems, things like that. We highlight these, we rank them based on severity, and then we offer solutions. And the solutions range from textual solutions, which are just small clarifications that you can add or change to improve your statement. So, for example, we study transgenerational epigenetic inheritance. We study it in worms, in C. elegans nematodes. If I say, temperatures generate transgenerational responses, and I fail to mention that this is in C. elegans, people will get the wrong impression, and my claim would be strengthened if I declare that properly. And this is something QED will suggest.
That's impressive.
And we also, and we also offer experimental solutions, long-term solutions, and short-term solutions. So things that will take you a long time, and things that will take you just a little bit of work. And it's very important to understand that this tool is this platform currently serves the authors. So we find many gaps. We suggest many ways to fix the gaps. But we are addressing the authors. We are suggesting things that are not necessarily required for the paper to be accepted to a journal X.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we try to focus it as much as possible and give you only the meaningful suggestions. So you can comment on in the platform if you think that a gap it's just a picky gap or something that you can tell us, and this is how the algorithm improves. But it is possible that some of the gaps we find and some of the solutions that we suggest are just our long-term solutions and not necessarily required for this particular paper. It is true that we can also adjust this tool so it fits better for knowing whether this is something that you must have to get the paper accepted or not. We're not there yet, but we can certainly do this in the future. I'm trying to move away from the idea of review as a gatekeeper, deciding what's accepted or not. I think that ideally it should be your paper, what you think, your paper that you stand behind, alongside the review that you got, that everyone can see. And then the gaps that were surfaced, you should be able to have the place to comment on these and say whether you think it's a real gap. If you think this is just a picky gap, that the reviewer, whether it's an AI reviewer or a human reviewer, if you think it's just speaking on you, or maybe it's inaccurate, then you should have the ability to comment. Or perhaps, if QED gave you a comment and you found that the gap was indeed worth addressing, and you did that either by changing the text or by adding an experiment, that I want you to be able to display that and show the world that you took the efforts, you took your time, made the effort to improve the work. Here is a record of everything that I did after I got feedback to have a stronger paper.
That's important, because not only are you democratizing the process here, but you're also adding a layer of transparency. That is.
I also think so.
Yeah, that's very important.
I also think so. I think it's transparency, and it's also provenance.
Mm-hmm.
Now, many papers are being generated just, by ChatGPT or so. In many cases, even the authors are not real. People are inventing papers, inventing authors just for the sake of having more citations. If you see the paper and you get this report of, this is the review that it got at time X, and then they did this and this work, and they added more and more layers of responses and comments and so on, you get more information, more transparency, and also provenance. It is harder to fake. You can sort of follow the paper along its evolution, how it improves.
Right.
And my hope is, recently, we launched this. What was it? About a month ago or so, a little bit more than a month probably, and we already have, I think, something like 5,000 labs. So that's a lot.
That's amazing.
In my opinion.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, for more than 1,000 institutes across the world. And maybe 2 weeks ago or so, or maybe 3 weeks ago, but something like that, we announced also a collaboration with the archives, Open Archive, bioRxiv, MedArchive. So now you can, through their system, go to QED and get your review, improve your paper. In the future, I want also to have a report that you can attach to your preprint from QED, sort of an unbiased report. You can't mess with it. Currently, what we're doing now is we're improving the system so you cannot tamper with the review, with the report. But then when you're ready, it's totally up to you. You can attach to your preprint a report and also your response to the report, to the comments that you got. And then it's sort of an additional layer between preprint and paper. Perhaps for some people, or more importantly for some institutions, it would be the only thing that is required. You have your preprint, you have an unbiased report, which is explainable, transparent, and comprehensive. And then people can actually say, okay, this is the work, and this allows me to understand whether there are any problems with the work, and also the report would also highlight the strength and the novel parts of the work. This is something that we already have in the system. And the idea that is sort of you detach or decouple the journals from the evaluation step. I still think that they can exist, but I think that to scale good peer review or good review, you need to do something.
Dr. Rechavi, I learned a lot. I'm very excited for QED and what it might offer to scientists. Now, I encourage everybody who's writing papers, in the process of writing papers, thinking about publishing, give it a shot. I think you'll be very impressed. And it's only going to...
And also that is also a good tool for reading critically. You just want to read a paper, run it through QED. It will show you, first of all, the claims, arrange them, and also find the weaknesses and also the strong points. So I use it also to read.
That's a very good point, because as scientists, you shouldn't be just a good writer, but you need to be first and foremost a good reader. And we'll end it on that. Dr. Rechavi, thank you for joining me. I look forward to doing it again in the future, and good luck with everything.
Thanks a lot, Tim. Thanks again.
My pleasure.